that way. I think there's 2 or 3 I've done. Do anything, it's go no. Hi everyone, I hope everyone's well. Welcome back. Please subscribe, like and share. Thank you very much. I've the last 2 episodes I covered. I'm going through it's like a mini series of flash photography, what I do at weddings. So far, I've done bounce flash, off camera flash, and today we're going to be talking about dragging the shutter. Dragging the shutter for me, it's a perfect go-to setup if you can't bounce flash, and really good if you're on a destination wedding, because destination weddings usually I won't have off stands, won't have too many flashes with me to build, like, be really different and be creative. So dragging the shutter is a really good little cheap way of getting through any of that. Before we go on with it, don't do it all night. Even if you can't bounce flash and you haven't got off-camera flash with you, like I said before in other videos, got the little bounce card. Use ambient light as well on the dance floor. This should only be really used for a bit of the night. I used to be obsessed with it, and even then I wouldn't use it all night. It'd be for like an hour tops. But I haven't used it properly for ages until last year, and I was like, oh, I actually miss it. And I think the first time I used it was because destination wedding, probably. Didn't have off-camera flash, blah 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 blah. So yeah, I'm going to talk about. I'll go through the settings with it, because settings are really easy, but there's one thing you need to do which really helps. I'll show examples as this video is going on, so just in case if you don't know what I'm talking about. And yeah, settings and the technique you do as well. There's all different techniques. I'll go through the ones that I use. And hopefully you like it. So, dragging the shutter. First thing we do is that's always going to be pointed forward. We're not doing bounce flash. We're not doing, always direct in the face. Camera settings first. Once you put these in, you haven't got to change them. These are go-to settings, so don't comment after you go, the settings are wrong. Like, it's near to it, and you might have to adjust it a bit depending on how much light's in the room. So go-to settings, f8. Always shoot at f8. You can even shoot at f10. f8 for me over the years seems the sweet spot for depth of field, letting in enough light. Yeah, that covers that really. f8. Shutter speed, very important one. I used to do it at like 1/5 of a second, but now I've been doing it at 0.3, which is really slow, obviously. So try that. ISO, anything between 100 to 400. You wanna. That one really depends on how much light's in the room, like ambient light, DJ lights, candles, things like that. Which, while I'm on that, this won't work that well. And I only do dragging the shutter if it's a really dark room, because I've tried it before and you get light spill and it looks crap. And I've seen a lot of photographers, sometimes they do overdo it dragging the shutter. I think, like anything in photography, analyze first before you do it, and it might not be worth doing it. But the perfect setup for me, destination wedding, everything's outside, dance floor's outside, pitch black out there, and you've literally just got the little fairy light things, you know, perfect. I'll have an example like that on the screen now from Ibiza. That's what you want. If you're shooting with the DJ box in frame, that can be really cool sometimes, but I've even tried it. Sometimes it can be hit and miss. It can be too much going on. So yeah, just look at the room. If it's a nice dark room, this is when it can work really well. So we've gone for the camera settings. Flash. Flash, you want to be the two lowest powers really. 1/64 or 1/128. You don't want to go any higher than that, because remember, you're blasting this in people's faces, and yeah, you don't want to piss them off. So keep that low. While I'm on the flash, I'm going to put text up for this so you can screenshot it, because that's what I used to do. The flash, this is really important. This is probably one of the most important parts of dragging the shutter. You want the flash head zoomed in. So when you look at a flash, there's most flashes you can zoom it in from really wide, 35mm or even lower, up to 200mm. Now some photographers, they just say 70 to 80mm zoomed in. I actually zoom it right into 200mm. I don't know, I've tried both and I can't even see any difference really, but that was the way I first started doing it, and zooming it in that much, you're really going to get a narrow light, which I like. You know, like if I've got a grid on a flash, like just so it's on the person's face. I don't want light spill going anywhere. I just want it on the subject. And where I get really close, maybe that's why I prefer using it. Yeah, I'm going to go with what I always use. Zoom it right in as much as you can. As long as you can get it up to 70 or 80, because some flashes you can't go over 70. Like this little tiny Godox flash, you can't go over 70. So I would only use that at 70, but zoom it in as much as you can. You can use it with extra tools like grids, put them on, really narrow the light, but try and keep it simple really. So I've done the camera settings, the flash setting, the power, and zooming it in. The next really important part is manual focus. Don't do autofocus, because on dark dance floor, I know like you've got really amazing cameras now that can pick up focus still, but it's not going to be as quick. Just do manual. The reason we're doing manual, you don't have to worry about manual. You know, I know a lot of people have never tried manual focus. It's not hard. You're not manually focusing every shot. Once you've set it, you're done for the night. So the reason we go back to f8, we're shooting at f8. When you're shooting at f8, it's the only time I ever shoot at f8. This is my street photography setup. So I do zone focusing. Zone focusing is, if I'm setting my camera on the streets to f8, I'll set the manual focus to 2 meters, and then I know then anything from, I think it's like 1.6 meters to, I'm not even going to say an exact number here because I'm going to get the proper photography nut job bloody geeks over me, I suppose, that know the exact number, but you've got a big depth of field. You know, when I do street photography, if I'm at f8, I can, anything from 1.5 to 2 meters in front of me, the focus zone, so anything will be an acceptable sharpness, you've got plenty, got like another 2 or 3 meters I think in front of you. So if you're on the dance floor, you know your subjects are gonna be in focus. If you're there where you've set the focus, you've still got another, because they're all dancing around and moving, you're gonna get them in focus. So set your manual focus, f8 aperture. To manual focus it, there's 2 ways I do it. Really, you only one of the ways, but I'll tell you 2, so you know. One of the old ways I used to do it, if I'm standing up, I'm 6'2", so we're all going to be a bit different depending on the height. I'm 6'2", so if you're roughly near that, this will work. If you hold your arm out when you're standing up at waist level, point the camera down, focus on the floor. try it now. If you're roughly my height, and look at the manual focus. So you're in autofocus at the moment. If you look at the focus bar on the back of the camera, it will be at about 1.5 meters, nearabouts. That's where you want to be, like anything between 1.5 to 2 meters. Or the other way is just manual focus. Switch it straight into manual and change it. So you've got the little bar on the back, and then you just move it till you get to between that 1.5 to 2 meters focus. Once that manual focus is set, switch it. No, I'm talking like an idiot here. If you're doing the technique of the shooting from your waist level down, that's in autofocus. Once you've got that, you then switch it to manual focus. Or if you're just doing it from manual focus, you keep it manual focus. I'm making it really complicated there, but hopefully I've explained both enough and you can rewind it a bit. It's really not hard. I'm going to put up things on the screen to show you what I do. So we're all ready to go. That's all done. Done the camera flash settings. I've done my camera settings, manual focus, the aperture, shutter, ISO. I've definitely done all that. ISO while I'm there, it's anything between 1 to 400. Again, because of the ambient room, I can't tell you what, it depends on, when you're there in the room, what it looks like. I usually start at like 200, but I can tell from experience now if it's a really dark room, I'll just put it at 400. And if it's a bit lighter than usual, maybe 200. It's normally either 200 or 400. So yeah, we've done the flash power, the zoom in, manual focus is set, we're ready to go. So, technique now. This is the last bit to get that trail light. You want to be in close with your subjects. Get in really close. Don't be afraid. If you're nervous about being close to people, ain't gonna work. Unfortunately, I've tried it before when I was shy. Head to toe shots and it don't look good. I see a lot of photographers posting, dragging the shutter, and it's like there's little things they're not doing to get that perfect dragging the shutter look. So, techniques, getting really close. I'd say 2 or 3 techniques. I'm not saying they're the only ones. There'll be other YouTubers that show you, but these are the ones I use. As you go in for the shot, and another little tip, there's YouTubers that say do rear curtain sync. I used to do that. That was what I first got taught, and I'd done it. And then I got told by another photographer you don't need it. I can honestly say, from using rear curtain sync and not, it doesn't make any difference. That's my personal opinion. So you can choose what you want with that. I can't be bothered to kind of settings and do it. It's just more to worry about, so you don't need to. So you're in close. Hopefully you can see what's going on here. Right. First things first, you're getting close with the crowd, they're having a dance or a boogie, and you go blah blah blah. Jump in. I'm 6'2". You want to put your camera a bit more up and shoot. I'm trying to get this in the camera, up and down. The reason we do that, because and I've done this before, I've tried different other little techniques trying to be clever. If you shoot it at eye level, the trail lights go through people's faces. Sometimes you can get away with it and it looks really cool, but it's risky. If all of them have got people's faces are covered, it looks a bit naffed, innit? Let's be honest with you. So yeah, go in, up a bit higher, make sure I'm on the mic still, and shoot a little bit down. By doing that, you get the trail lights, but you don't get the trail lights in people's faces, so it just looks a bit more tidier. So the technique, once you're there, so we're there, techniques. So as you've held your shutter down, you've taken the shot. As you take the shot, there's a few techniques I do. So I either do that, or I do that. Probably looks the same, but yeah. So left to right, that way. I think there's 2 or 3 I've done. Do anything, it's go really. No, or one I do like doing, I like sounds so stupid. If I'm on the dance floor like that and I twist my hips and spin round, not a full spin like Michael Jackson, but like a half spin, and that always works really well with me. Or if I don't use zoom lenses, but I've seen photographers do like really cool. As the shutter goes off, they zoom in and out quick, and that gets a really cool look. But the one I think I mainly do, I just sort of go in and do that. Yeah, like I say, dragging the shutter, you shouldn't be doing it all night. You know, it looks cool, but it can look a bit messy as well. And sometimes it is luck, you know, doing all different things. But people do love it, and I understand why they love it. It does look cool. But again, you know, balance is key. Make sure you get nice, normal balancing flash shots for just nice light, if you can. Yeah, I think that's everything now for all of my flash setups. I think I've done balancing the flash, off camera, dragging the shutter. I think that's done now. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you enjoyed it. Like, share, and comment if you've got any comments for me. I think I've covered it all. But yeah, I'm not claiming to be an expert at flash photography at all. It's probably not, you know, my weakest point out of any photography, you know, because I'm not a studio photographer. There's photographers who've got so many amazing setups. And this is just basic setup for me, keeping low key. And yeah, just keeping it to as simple as possible, really. So yeah, I keep saying in the last couple of seconds, and I don't know why, because I'm experienced YouTuber now. I shouldn't be all the time. I hope you all have a lovely week, and I will see you all soon. See you later.